Try started originally as a result of a community energy forum that took place and hosted by council in 2014.
Try's renewable energy target, I think it's achievable. I think there's a lot of goodwill and passion and commitment. I think we'll get there. It'll be a very interesting journey.
So community for me is a sense of belonging. It's a place in which we can come together and pursue ideas, visions, support.
So Totally Renewable Yakandanda formed out of the Community Energy Forum in Yakandanda, but a group of people after that got together around a fire with some soup and just nutted around a whole lot of ideas. And at the end of that point we said, let's go for 100% renewable electricity, and it seemed like a really valid thing to aim for. We had no idea how we were going to do it.
So the panels were installed in January 2016 and operational at the start of February. So in the 12-month period we've actually seen a halving of our electricity bill. The savings have been higher than what we expected, and the payback's going to be a lot sooner. We had a 5-year payback. We're looking at that being a bit over 3 years now. So that's just been brilliant.
Where are we? We're in the Indigo Valley in northeast Victoria. We're about 8 kilometres from Yakandanda, which is sort of behind us. It's a beautiful physical landscape of bushed hills and sort of cleared agricultural valleys and rising up to the hills. It's 25 minutes from Wodonga and the bigger cities of Albury, Wodonga. Yeah, well, I think that this project has a responsibility, and what's quite energising people to some extent, I believe, is that this is a generational project. It's not just about what's good for me, and generations behind us, following us, are really strongly seeing that we need to be doing something about this for the world that they're going to be living in.
So Yakandanda Community Development Company is an unlisted public company which was formed up around 2002 when the local service station down the main street was going to close. 7 locals chipped in $1,000 each, took over the lease of the old service station, decided we had to do something about fuel in the town. We're a unlisted public company, and but we also call ourselves a community company. And we do that because about half the profits from this operation go back to community initiatives within the town, and the other half go back to shareholders. And we employ locals. A lot of young people get their first start in jobs in this organisation. About 30% of our power here is generated from solar energy.
So I'm an independent member of Parliament and I represent my community. But the biggest impact in a really crowded agenda in Canberra is when community people come and speak for themselves about their own experience. Here was the problem, here's what we did about it, here's what it works, and now we need government to do this. My approach to my community is to be the intermediary between the knowledge on the ground, which is very sophisticated knowledge. Some people think grassroots is unsophisticated. They think it's a bit like maybe peasanty. But in my experience, the ability of communities to integrate across portfolios, across issues, across finance, so they do the social, the economic, the environment, they bring it all together, they integrate it and say, well, here's what we need to do. So my communities, and I know around Australia, are extraordinarily sophisticated in their analysis and then in their decision to take action.
The solar that we've put into Yakandanda is an 80 kilowatt system. We got to a stage where really it was financially viable to install solar. Yeah, certainly. Look, an 80 kilowatt system in a supermarket of this size really can generate approximately 25% of our energy requirements. And we've certainly seen that with a reduction in our bills. And I think my answer is that I think Yackandandah is a really eclectic and perhaps cosmopolitan community. And the one thing that is for certain is that they're really passionate about the environment and really passionate about supporting local business.
Yeah, it's been an interesting partnership that's come in front of us. I guess the ambitions of Tri around energy sovereignty and our learning journey as a water business in trying to take emissions and carbon out of our business have really lined up and are presenting some exciting opportunities now. Yes, I think one of the interesting things about the way Totally Renewable Yackandandah have operated is they've been extremely powerful at getting their message out. So I know after our initial contact with the Matthews at North East Water, and we sort of quietly went and started beavering away on our part of the project, then almost everywhere you went you were hearing about Yackandandah. You couldn't go to Melbourne, Sydney or Canberra and people were saying, "Oh, have you heard of Yackandandah?" It was like, of course we've heard of Yackandandah, it's in our area. But yeah, they were obviously really powerful enrollers for key stakeholders. I guess the ambitions of Tri around energy sovereignty and our learning journey as a water business in trying to take emissions and carbon out of our business have really lined up and are presenting some exciting opportunities now. Yeah, so one of the exciting challenges we've taken on at Yak is to do a bit of R&D and we're using the combination of solar energy and the trial of batteries in use to just see how viable it is to actually provide essential services without connections to the grid, and that's a great partnership with the same objectives that the Yackandandah community has.
So Mondo Power is really on a journey alongside Yackandandah. So we're working with the community to help them achieve their 100% renewable future. Initially we will work with Yackandandah to get everything up and running and get a comfortable solution with the community, but then the plans are to roll it out further in that community, so bring in Wodonga, Beechworth, Myrtleford, Wangaratta. So there's about 1,100 houses in the Yak area. 30% of them have solar on their roof and they're generating about 13% of their power through renewables. So that was the starting point. The next step of that, as part of the solar deployment, what we thought we needed to do was install a little computer at each house that monitors the household load, monitors the solar generation and gives the Yackandandah residents visibility of that through a portal or through their mobile computer device, which by the way we call UBI, it's for ubiquitous, to give it a name. So Mondo Power's developed UBI. UBI will actually analyse the household profile and in time it will make a recommendation to each householder that it's now time to get a battery.
The really exciting thing about the community mini-grid is that it's going to be the first of its type in Australia. So we're really trying to get Yackandandah to 100%, but we're also really trying to prove a model that we think is going to be really important in transitioning Australia to a renewable energy future. So the answer to that is this other piece of, I guess, social technology that we're working on, business technology, is this community energy retailer. And what that's going to allow us to do is to turn these individual systems and these individual households into a unified energy unit. So we'll be able to trade and share electricity across the mini-grid. The community energy retail is a really important piece of the social technology that's going to help drive this whole process in Yackandandah and help it move across northeast Victoria. We think, or AusNet Services and Mondo estimate that the community energy retailer fully functioning, trading across the mini-grid will be able to generate 90% of Yackandandah's electricity needs. Currently looking at putting a solar or a pumped hydro top-up mechanism. So the community energy retailer is going to be able to buy electricity from that and sell it to people in the mini-grid.